Hi everyone, I hope you're safe and well considering the current circumstances. If you haven't done so already, check out the other videos in the channel. I tend to provide quick, practical examples of things in the data analytics and data engineering world, especially around Apache Kafka that you might find useful. Remember to click on the thumbs up, subscribe, add comments to support us or just to give us some feedback. Now, a little while ago, I showed how you can build real-time data pipelines from Kafka to popular data stores. And in one particular example, I showed building a pipeline into Splunk. Now, Splunk's a really powerful tool for analytics, but there might be times when you want to query some data off a Kafka topic without going through the process of building a pipeline. So here's a really nice Splunk app that allows you to do exactly that, query data live off a Kafka topic. Now, the app will use Lenses.io's SQL engine to query the data. If you don't know Lenses.io, it's a data operational workspace for Apache Kafka, and it has a security model and a SQL layer that allows you to operate Kafka from within a workspace UI or API. So the app itself will use Lenses.io as the gateway into Kafka. Now, normally Lenses.io, you'd point to your existing Kafka cluster. Now, if you don't already have Lenses.io or you don't have Kafka, you can sign up for the free cloud workspace, which is a perfect environment for just learning how to build real-time applications on Kafka. The Splunk app provides a custom command called Lenses.io search that takes a SQL statement as an argument. Once you've returned the data back in Splunk, you can then use your standard Splunk operations for further analytics. Okay, so how do we set this app up? So if you don't already have Lenses.io, as I mentioned, you can sign up for the free cloud workspace. Just answer a few questions, it takes a couple of minutes, and then you'll get access to your own environment. If you already have Kafka and you want to point Lenses to your existing Kafka cluster, then you can set up the custom installation or select the custom installation option here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a user account in Lenses. If you go into the admin section and create a new group and assign it permissions to query any topic using the wildcard, there are some other permissions, but you don't need to worry about that for the time being. Let's just go ahead and save that. And once we've created the group, we just need to create a service account and assign it to that group. The name of the service account is going to be important, so you're going to want to remember that. Here we're calling it Splunk. And then copy that service account token. We're going to need that again also later on. If you don't already have Splunk, you can download it for free. It just takes a couple of minutes to install. So here we are installing it. I'm running it for the first time. Now, before we go any further, we're going to want to install the Lenses.io Python libraries on the Splunk search head, that instance that we've just set up a few seconds ago. I'll add full description of how to do this in the details below. It's just about 3 or 4 steps. It takes a couple of minutes. But once the library is installed, we're going to be able to install the Splunk app itself. That's just through the standard process. Where to get the app, I'll add in the description below. You can download it from GitHub. And it's going to require a restart. Now, after your restart, the first thing you're going to want to do is set up the environment itself. So you're going to want to paste in that service account token prefixed by the service account name, that's Splunk user that we had, plus the URL to the Lenses.io instance. Now we're going to want to jump back into Lenses and start generating a SQL statement that we're going to invoke from within Splunk. Now, if you're using the free cloud workspace, you'll notice some sample data, some sample topics. There's one sample topic called CC payments, so I'm just going to take that and I'm going to generate a SQL statement that's just taking 2 fields and putting a conditional clause where the amount greater than 5,000. So if we copy that, jump back into Splunk, and now we can start generating or writing our Splunk search. So we start with a pipe and then that custom command, which is Lenses.io search, and then just pass in the SQL statement as an argument that we've just generated, and there we go, there's our data returned. Now notice it hasn't actually extracted any of the fields, so if you add a pipe extract at the end of the search, it's then going to extract the fields from the JSON objects. So there, for example, is our value amount field. And then, of course, as I mentioned, you can add your own standard Splunk operations to do further analytics. So here I'm just invoking a stats command to do the sum of the amount by the different currencies. And there we go. Really basic report, but how great was that? Okay, all the details of how to get up and running with the app will be in the description below. Remember, it's a really early release, so we'd appreciate any comments or suggestions. You can either send me a message on LinkedIn and Twitter, or just drop some comments below. Remember to click on the thumbs up if you found it useful, and thanks for watching. À tantôt, and prenez soin de vous.